Center for the Ethiopian Educational Information and Communication Technology presents Educational Satellite Television Programs.
Hello, teacher. Hello, students. Welcome to today's lesson on the scope of chemistry. This is the first lesson in our grade 11 chemistry. In this unit, we are going to discuss what chemistry is. We will also distinguish the major fields of chemistry, the measurements and units used in chemistry, as we will discuss chemistry as an experimental science. This is going to be a very exciting and informative unit. Let us begin. There are a number of factors that contribute to the quality of life. Having reliable employment, the availability of services, access to health care, and access to proper nutrition are just a few. Living in an area that has a manageable population in relation to the resources available, and being able to have and enjoy leisure time are also factors. Many of these factors that contribute to the quality of life are due to chemistry. Chemistry has enabled humanity to produce all sorts of materials, such as drugs to fight disease, pesticides and herbicides to help protect crops, and fertilizers to help grow an abundance of crops. There are many more examples of useful materials that chemistry has helped mankind to produce. Please get out a piece of notebook paper and write down as many as you can think of.
Students, let's get ready. Begin. Time's up! Let's get back to our lesson.
Welcome back, students. I am very interested to know what you came up with. You might have said that chemistry has enabled us to produce fuel for transportation, fibers to provide comfortable and produce a variety of clothing, building materials for housing and development, and plastics for a vast number of uses. This chart shows even more everyday materials created using chemistry. Please share your list with your classmates at the end of this lesson so that you can discuss all of the amazing materials chemistry has contributed to humanity. Not only has chemistry helped us to improve our quality of life, but it has also helped us better understand the nature of life. The theories of chemistry help us to better understand the material world that we live in, from the tiniest atom to giant polymers. Everything that we see, touch, taste, or smell is made of matter. Even using our senses to perceive this matter involves chemical reactions. Therefore, in order to understand the world around us, we must first understand chemistry. So, what is chemistry? Chemistry is the science that deals with matter and the changes that it undergoes. It is a study of the composition, structure, and properties of matter, and of the changes that occur in matter. It is said that the only thing that is permanent in the world is change. Every day, the world around us is constantly going through changes. Iron rusts, snow melts, paint peels, and living things grow, die, and then decompose. Learning to understand how and why things change, including ourselves, helps us to better understand nature and the composition of matter. Matter is the physical material that makes up the universe. It is anything that occupies space and has mass. Matter has the ability to change, though. It can alter from one form to another, either chemically, physically, or both. Let us first discuss chemical changes in matter. Chemical changes are more commonly referred to as chemical reactions. They are processes whereby one substance is transformed into another as a result of combination of atoms or dissociation of compound. These changes can be quantitatively described, which means that we can measure the amount of matter used up and produced, or qualitatively described using chemical equations, which means that we can see, smell, or feel the changes. Some examples of chemical reactions include the oxidation of matter, fermentation, and the addition of water to calcium oxide. What about physical changes? These changes differ from chemical changes in that the substances involved do not undergo a change of identity. For example, when an ice cube melts, it physically changes into a liquid, but it is still a form of water. Physical change also involves making or separating mixtures. For example, dissolving table salt in water produces a physical change. There are two types of physical properties: extensive and intensive physical properties. Extensive physical properties depend on the quantity of a sample and can therefore vary. For example, the extensive property of a piece of copper wire includes its length, diameter, mass, and electrical resistance. Intensive physical properties do not depend on the quantity of a sample. Going back to our example of the copper wire, the intensive physical properties include its color, density, melting point, and hardness. These properties can be used to distinguish between different substances. Students, please explain the differences between chemical and physical changes.
Students, let's get ready. Begin. Time's up! Let's get back to our lesson.
Hello again, students. Let us go through the answer. Chemical changes always produce a new kind of matter. They usually involve heat change, and the substances they produce often have a different mass than the original individual substances. In contrast, the substances involved in physical changes do not undergo a change of identity. These changes are also easily reversible, and the mass of the final product is usually the same as the original substance. In today's lesson, we learned that chemistry is the science that deals with matter and the changes that it undergoes. We learned that we need to study chemistry in order to understand the world around us better. This is the end of our lesson today. Until next time, thank you, teacher. Thank you, students.